Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to set up QuickBooks so that it will correctly create your sales tax liability report. This will make it a little bit easier to file your state sales and use tax because you'll be able to see all the rates separately. It will also keep your tax records accurate. There are a few pieces of information you'll need to set up QuickBooks for sales and use tax. First of all, you will need the state sales and use tax rate in the state that you make sales in. Next, you're going to need to set up the county that you make sales in. If you know the name of the county, great, but if not, just Google the city on your invoice to find out which county that city is in. Finally, you'll need to know about any additional taxes charged with sales and use tax for that county, such as transit tax. The next step is to go to the state's website and find out the tax rate for the county you make sales in. Keep in mind that a lot of state websites list a total rate that includes both the state rate and the county rate. So you'll need to subtract out the state rate to find out the rate for just the county, which is what you need to know. Here's an example. For the state of North Carolina, the total rates are listed for each county on the state website. The link for this site is below. I want to set up Orange County, so I will take the rate listed and subtract 4.75, which is the state tax rate. So let me scroll down to Orange County. Here it is. The Orange County tax rate is listed as 7.5. So I will take 7.5 and subtract 4.75, which is the state tax rate. In addition, you'll notice the asterisk beside the 7.5% for Orange County, which says at the very bottom that it includes the 0.5% transit county sales and use tax. So to get the county rate, I will need to also subtract the 0.5. And that leaves me with 2.25. That is the Orange County rate minus the state tax rate minus the transit county sales tax rate. So 2.25 is the rate that I was looking for. Now I have the information I need to set up the tax rate correctly in QuickBooks. Now that I have all the tax rates that I need, I'm ready to go into QuickBooks and go ahead and set up my tax rates. The first thing you're going to do when you log into QuickBooks is click on the Taxes link on the interface on the left-hand menu. From here, on the right-hand side, at the bottom of Related Tasks, you'll see Add/Edit Tax Rates and Agencies. Click there. And you'll see the list of if you've got any set up, they'll be in there already. So the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and set up a single tax rate for the state. In this case, since I'm doing North Carolina, I'm going to call it North Carolina State Sales and Use Tax. And I'll just put the North Carolina Department of Revenue. In this case, we know it's 4.75%. I'll save that. Scroll back down, do another new single tax rate. This one is going to be the Orange County State Sales and Use Tax. And the agency here is going to be Orange County. And the rate is what we calculated based on the website, which was 2.25%. Go ahead and save that. And then the last thing we needed to set up was the transit tax. So in this case, the transit tax is specific to the county. So the transit tax is going to be Orange County. I'm just going to call it transit tax. And the agency name will still be Orange County. And that rate was 0.5%. I'll save that. So now I have my 3 individual tax rates set up. So the next step is to go ahead and create a new combined tax rate. Okay, now this is going to be the tax name that you're going to want to identify for your invoices. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and say Orange County combined tax rate. Okay. The first thing I'm going to put is the NC state and sales use tax rate, which shows up as 4.75, which is correct. Next, I'm going to put my Orange County sales and use tax, which is 2.25. Then I'll add another component here, and I'll do the Orange County transit tax, which is 0.5. This rate that you see right here, which is 7.5, should match what we saw on the North Carolina tax rate website, and it does at 7.5. So I like to just verify that as I am doing the setup to make sure that I got the percentage correct. And then this one is going to be the one that we'll use, the Orange County combined tax rate. So I'll go ahead and save that. So now we have our tax rate set up completely. Now you've got the tax rates all set up, and that is the process that you would need to use to set up any county with the correct tax rate. So you'll notice on my list of counties here that I have the sales and use tax for each county. It's identified individually by county. And then I also have the state tax on each one. So each one of the counties has a combined tax rate associated with it. So that's what yours will look like. You'll set up one for each county where you do sales and services so that you can assign that based on the location of your customers. From here, what we're going to do is apply the tax rate to an invoice for a customer. First thing I'll do is click on Sales. From the Sales area, I'm going to click on the invoice that I have that is about to be ready to send out to a customer. So within this invoice, what you'll see is a normal invoice that I have ready to go out. Down here at the bottom, what you'll notice is you have your line by line of items. There is a checkbox on the item indicating that it is taxable, but I need to select a sales tax rate here. And this is where I am going to go ahead and look up that Orange County rate. Now you'll notice when I do a search here that I get all of the Orange County rates that I set up. Each one of those is individual. So that's why it's important that you name them individually so that you can actually see which rate you're applying at the time, because they all have to be in QuickBooks individually. So what you're going to select is the combined tax rate, and you'll see that's 7.5. That's the one that you need to charge. There is the tax rate, and you will see that as soon as I select it, it goes ahead and applies 7.5% to any amount that is checked as taxable on the invoice, and it subtracts that amount, or it adds that amount right here in the tax area. So that part is now added on to your invoice. So at that point, you can save or save and send, whatever the next step is for you with your invoices. And that is how you add a sales tax to the invoice. If you use recurring invoices, which are invoices that go out the same way every month, you can also apply the same combined tax rate on any of those invoices. And that's what we recommend, is applying the combined tax rate on any of your regular invoices for those people who invoice the same amount each month or invoice regularly. Now that you have your sales and use tax set up correctly in QuickBooks, you can run the report for your sales and use tax liability. I'm going to show you where to pull that. If you go under Reports, you're going to find the Sales Tax Liability Report. You can run this report, and you'll want to just set the dates that you want to run it for. Normally, you are going to run this report for a month at a time. Okay, so we'll set it to a month and then run it. And what you'll see, if we scroll down and look at the report here, is that it gives you a total that is broken down. This shows you the total for the North Carolina state sales and use tax at the top. And for each county, it's going to break down exactly the amount under each county for sales and use tax. And if the county has a transit tax, it will break that down as well. So now that we have our taxes set up correctly in QuickBooks, this report will actually help us file the sales and use tax.